guys, and welcome back to another candle review. This one, admittedly, another drugstore find. Probably gonna be kinda, if it even burns correctly at all. I am super skeptical looking at it, but it also was super, super cheap, so can't really argue with it there. And the packaging is pretty cute, and I'm a sucker for Jelly Belly, so there's that. But, I actually have two of these. There is this one in lemon drop that I've got, and there's also a watermelon one, but I want to do this one first for some reason, even though I like watermelon better. But yeah, these are Jelly Belly licensed fragranced candles. They are 3 ounces, so not very much here. And it's a single wick. As you can see, it's a very, very skinny wick, so I'm not sure if we're gonna have to deal with some puny wick syndrome here. I'm really not sure. Once I get this open, I may have a better idea on it, but, yeah, I'm gonna admit, I'm not expecting too much. I'm also bummed that there's, like, this much empty space, and it's brand new, never been burned. It only goes up to, like, halfway. I'm like, oh. Okay, well, that is a thing. So, gonna go ahead and pop this open, get a better look at that wick. Do we have any info on what type of wax this is? Absolutely no help on the bottom. Doesn't say, I don't think. Nope, it does not. Very strange indeed. Well, here's what it looks like. It's just a little glass. Like, when you would drink it, it's not even thick glass, which makes me very nervous. I'm going to be watching this thing like a hawk because of that. It's got the Jelly Belly logo on here. You can see the wick holder down here, and in the bottom it seems to be very off-centered, but that doesn't matter so much as long as the wick itself is pretty centered, which it looks fairly centered, so we'll see how it does. It may do okay, actually. But, getting a better look at the wick. I don't think it's a braided wick or anything. I think it's just a skinny, straight wick, as far as I can tell. And it feels very, very fragile. So I'm going to try not to touch it too much in getting a read on this. So, what does it smell like? Let's find out. It's a very, very light lemon scent. It's almost like lemon and cream. Honestly, I'm getting like a vanilla scent in there too, even though lemon drop generally wouldn't be like lemon meringue, but that's what I'm smelling, is basically lemon meringue, which is a wonderful smell. Honestly, wish it were a little stronger. Maybe once I burn it, it'll get stronger, or not. I don't know. I'm hoping it gets stronger than that, though, because that's a really nice scent. So, we shall see how it does. Once it's burning, I'll see how it performs. I would imagine being this small of a candle, it's not going to take very long to pool out, because this, I mean, just guesstimating by size of... Okay, I'm going to guesstimate it's about 2 inches across, so rough math might take, since it's first burn, like 2 hours to pool out. I'm going to guesstimate less than that, honestly, but just giving it all the excess in the world possible if needed. That's what I'm guessing. But because of how thin that glass is, I am going to be watching it real close because I don't know how much I trust it, especially for how cheap it was. Even on here, it claims to be $1.99. I just paid 99 cents. So it's very, very cheap. They were on clearance. If they'd had more scents, I almost said flavors, if they'd had more scents, I probably would have gotten them too, but they literally only had the 2, so it may be just as well if they end up being horrible, but I'm gonna find out, so I will be back once I know. Alright guys, so update. I did bring this for a couple hours last night, but as you can see, it started to tunnel. I had to extinguish it before I could get as far as I wanted to with it because I had to go to sleep. So I'm seeing if we get any further this morning with it. It's melted and pooled out much, much faster than it ever got to last night because it took about 2 hours to pool out as far as that ring there last night. This has been lit for 5 minutes this morning, and it's already pooled out almost exactly as far as it took hours to do last night, so I'm not gonna leave it lit that long this morning, I don't think. I just want to see if it's gonna tunnel down or if it's going to pool out to the edges further. Now, because of how thin this glass is, I don't dare try the aluminum foil trick with it because I'm scared that the heat will just make the glass crack, so I'm not gonna do that on this one. If it tunnels, it tunnels. It was a little El Cheapo candle, so it doesn't matter that much if this one tunnels, honestly. But yeah, so just quickie update. Okay, candle update, guys. So we can see that it's pooling down about this far now. Unfortunately, that one side to the further side, it looks like it is, in fact, going to tunnel. But I'm giving it a little longer. I think I've had it burning about half an hour this morning now. So this looks like it wants to melt down into the pool. So it may wrap around into the back. I'm gonna see. But I retract my earlier statement about how it has no throw. It's not the strongest throw in the world, but it is, in fact, throwing some scent. If you use this in a small room, especially like a bathroom or something, it probably would be enough. But in the large bedroom like mine is, you can smell it from about a third of the room away, but it does kind of get lost in here. So, I mean, I'm going to see if maybe it picks up more strength as it burns, because at first I thought it had no throw. So the fact that now it suddenly does makes me wonder if it's going to get more intense if I let it go further. Again, we shall see. This has been your candle update. Update to the update. I got braver than I anticipated. I did do the tinfoil trick very, very briefly because of how thin the glass is. I didn't want it to get too hot and crack, so I was doing for like 5-minute intervals at first, taking it off and checking, and then when it was okay with that, I did for 10-minute intervals, would take it off, give it a couple minutes to just rest, put it back on for another 10. Only took a couple times of doing that, and now we have a full pool out. So I'm gonna let it burn just a little tiny bit longer, but look how deep the wax pool is on this side. On the other side, it's barely pooled, but I don't care. It did the thing, so I'm happy. Okay, so I've given you guys a couple of burn updates with this one, and even though it's only gone down this much, over the span of a few hours, I think I can speak on this one at this point. So, when I lit it, I wasn't sure if the scent would intensify or anything. On the first burn, I smelled nothing. Unless I was like literally right over it. I smelled nothing at all. I had it on my little table near the door of my room. And I swear to God, this is not a humble brag or anything. My room is about as big as a small apartment. So it's a big room. It's easy for not so scented candles to get kind of lost in here. So I figured, okay, on the second burn, because I couldn't burn it long enough before I had to go to sleep last night, this time I was going to put it on the table near my bed, where I was sitting, doing work on my computer. Figure this time, if there's any scent throw whatsoever, I will definitely smell it this time. So I put it over there, and I lit it, and it pooled out much quicker this time, obviously, but, there was some scent throw on the second burn, so I don't know if maybe this one gets stronger the more you burn it, but it seemed like it kinda pinnacled out after a few hours. It seemed like it would throw at its prime heaviness about maybe 5 feet away from it. About halfway across my room, I could smell it some, but from the opposite end of the room, you can't smell it at all. And I found it very telling that when I went and borrowed the lid from one of my Bath & Body Works candles just to snuff it out and keep the smoke in there so I wouldn't gag to death or anything, there was more scent across the room from the unlit candle from Bath & Body Works than there was from this one that had been actively burning for a couple hours. Just saying. Just saying. So, there's that. As for how it burned, naturally it wanted to tunnel, which did not surprise me, but I did, like I told you in one of the update videos, I did dare to very, very briefly do the aluminum foil trick around it, despite it being such thin glass. Would not recommend doing that to those of you who don't really know what you're doing with that, but I was watching it like a hawk, and I was only doing it for very brief intervals. Just saying, I was as careful as a person can be doing that. But I did get it to pool out across the top, so at least I'm not all OCD about the appearance now. So, does it linger once it's out? No, it really doesn't. Because I even by this morning, checking over near the table where it was originally there was nothing. Just since it's been out in like the past half hour, it already smells like nothing. I've left the room and come back in there. It's nothing. There's no linger. So it's not that great, but again, a 99-cent candle, I'm not expecting much from it. This is like a good power out candle. So that said, what would I rate it ultimately? Oh, by the way, and the wick is like the most fragile little thing in the planet. That said, though, knock wood, it did not break off like I was expecting it to, so I don't know if that's going to be an issue in the future with it. It never really mushroom topped or anything, so I'm not sure if that's indicative of it's going to have puny wick syndrome and like a few more burns or what. It didn't get to the point where the pool snuffed it out or anything, so it's not a cotton ball candle, but I am very leery of that wick. So, overall rating of this one, I would say maybe a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It's very weak, but at the same time, sometimes that can be a strength in and of itself. Like during a power out where you have a bunch of candles lit, you don't want something super strong because otherwise you're going to give yourself a headache, or if you're asthmatic like I am, you're going to have issues from that. So for power outs, this is going to be wonderful, but for just burning it for ambiance, not so much. But my little sister has migraines, so she says she personally prefers candles like that. So for someone like her, this would be a wonderful choice. But again, if you like being able to actually smell the candles that you've lit and you've bought because they're a certain scent that you enjoy, you want to be able to smell them. So if you're more of that camp, it might be skippable. I don't know. It's your own judgment call. It's a very, very cheap candle. I wasn't expecting much from it, and to be honest, it did better than I expected it to do. But it does have its problems, just to be honest. So that's about all I have to say for this one. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click that like button and subscribe if you're not already. I think I already screwed that up, but you know what I mean. I'm still waking up. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Do you guys have any of these Jelly Belly candles? If so, which ones do you have? How do you find they burn? Let me know down in the comments, as well as anything else you feel like leaving me. Make sure you're following my social media accounts. They're all listed down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel and you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. So anyway, guys, till next time. Bye-bye.